Good morning, viewers. The 4th of December is celebrated by the Indian Council of Agriculture Research as the Day for Women in Agriculture. And here we are today to celebrate that very force. Welcome to our special session on discussing the role of Indian women in agriculture. Today we have with us Dr. Amrit Lamichane, who is the Principal Scientist at the Department of Extension with the Ministry of Agriculture and Cooperation. We also have with us Professor Mohan Bade, who is the Principal Scientist at the Division of Fisheries Resource and Management at the Central Institute of Fisheries Education, Mumbai. Next to him is Dr. Pooja Chaukhande, who is the Honorable Director of the Directorate of Research for Women in Agriculture. She is spearheading the Directorate as well as research on this very sphere. Sitting next to me is Dr. Evening Stone Marbo, who is the Principal Scientist in the Division of Crop Improvement at the Directorate of Research for Women in Agriculture. And finally, we have with us Dr. Biswajit Mandal, who is the Principal Scientist in the Division of Basic Sciences at the Directorate of Research for Women in Agriculture. Friends, today we are going to get an overview of the multifaceted role of Indian women, ranging from household practices to on-farm practices and food processing. So, Dr. Amrit, can you enlighten us regarding the initiatives that are being taken up by the Indian Council of Agriculture Research for upliftment of women in the system?
Thank you, Dr. Ira. I'm happy to have an opportunity to discuss the role of women in agriculture in this session. In the present context, where men are migrating from rural to urban areas in search of secure jobs, women are left behind for farming. The role of women were immense even before, but in this background, the role of women in agriculture has been greatly realized. For empowering the women, as per the recommendation of 8th Five-Year Plan, the Indian Council of Agriculture Research has established National Research Center for Women in Bhubaneswar, Odisha, which has been upgraded to Directorate in 2008. Later, All India Coordinated Research Project in Home Science, dealing with the inclusion of home, farm and household activities of women, has been merged with the Directorate in 2009.
Thank you, Dr. Amrit. Our National Agriculture Research System is indeed unique to have devoted a full-fledged institute to the cause of women. I now request Dr. Evening Stone to tell us about the role of women in farming practices.
Thank you, Dr. Ira. Women in India are the major producer of food in terms of value, volume, and the number of hours worked. Nearly 63% of all economically active men are engaged in agriculture, as compared to 78% of women. This justifies that most farmers in India are women. Women were observed to play a significant role in agriculture, starting from land preparation to sowing, up to harvesting and processing of the final produce. The nature and extent of women's involvement in agriculture, no doubt, varies greatly from region to region. There's hardly any activity in agricultural production in which women were not involved.
Thank you, Dr. Evening Stone. That is a valuable piece of information. And now I request Professor Mohan to tell us about the role of women in the fisheries sector.
Thank you, Dr. Ria. Near about 11 lakh fisherwomen live in Indian coastal villages, and they play a vital role in the marine fisheries and the aquaculture. Regarding to aquaculture, the movements are carried out by various works like the collection of the prawn seed from the backwater and the estuaries, and maintenance of the small farms and fabrication of the cages and nets. On the other hand, the activities carried out by women are some related to harvesting and processing technologies like peeling of prawns, icing, etc. And currently, Central Institute of Fisheries Technology is the larger employer of the women, followed by Central Institute of Fisheries Education, Mumbai, and then College of Fisheries Science, Bangalore.
Thank you, Professor Mohan. We know that women are not only involved on farm, but also as developers of technology. So I request Dr. Mandal to enlighten us about how women are involved in developing as researchers.
Dr. Ira, women are the forerunners spearheading the agricultural research in the National Agriculture Research System and the private sector R&D as well. Not only as scientists, but as technical personnel also, they are contributing to their highest level. And besides, they also form the ground research force for all the research projects in India as research fellows and research associates. Facilitating them in the profession and in the workplace, we are having women cell across all our centers. And still there are a lot of scope of development regarding the policy making and harnessing the best out of them. by implementing work from home type options and activity specific gender sensitizations.
Thank you, Dr. Mandal. There indeed is scope of work in that area. And now finally, I request Dr. Pooja to brief us about the mandate of the Directorate of Research for Women in Agriculture.
Thanks, Dr. Ira. The mandate of our institute is to carry out basic, strategic and applied research on gender issues in agriculture and allied sciences. In that context, we focus on designing of gender-friendly technologies, creating and designing of policies, programs and training on women entrepreneurship. Today, our institute has come up with many low-cost gender-friendly technologies. To name a few of them are winning mix, protective bags, water bags, maize dehusker cum sheller, groundnut decorticator, vegetable plucker, finger guard, etc. I am sure that this instrument will definitely help us to lessen the drudgery of farm women. Today in our institute, we take training programs on gender issues, then capacity building programs for planners, policymakers and scientists.
This indeed was an eye-opening session for all of us, and I believe all our viewers have benefited immensely from the information provided. I thank Dr. Amrit, Professor Mohan, Dr. Pooja, Dr. Mandal and Dr. Evening Stone for being here with us. It was a pleasure to have you all. Viewers, for more information, you can log on to www.dwra.org.in or you can call on 94186 59718. You can also email your queries to director@dwra.org.in. That is all we have for you today. See you next week with another important topic. Jai Hind.